or anything. I'm like,
we're just all scrambled.
Way to go, dude.
And we're live.
There you go.
Hold the phone. Maybe we're not live.
Outstanding.
Well, we're live on Twitch. But,
Outstanding.
Outstanding.
But I need to do this first.
And make it a Facebook live. Oh God.
Sorry.
Couldn't tell if my ears popped from the altitude or what that was.
Yeah.
Well, it's like my my Power Stroke or whatever, my audio box USB needs to be
I need to whisper Power Stroke.
unplugged. Yeah, Power Stroke. Okay, now we're good. Now we're live.
Yeah, on the Facebook too?
Yeah, should be on all three.
Dope.
Welcome to Velocity Mixed Martial Arts. I'm your host, Kyle Leonard. Every single week, we bring in a local fighter or grappler, and we talk about last week's fight card, this week's fight card, and any other crazy mixed martial arts news. Go over plans for the future and stories from the past.
Sometimes we take our shirts off.
Joining us this week, we got Kyle Lunde. Thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Thanks for having me.
And of course, we have Tanner Thug Nasty L's. And the Matador.
Now I have to do one.
Michael Otamende.
If you're gonna do one, I'm gonna do one.
I'm sure you know mine's better.
Mine's a Matador. Come on.
No.
No.
How's everybody doing this week?
Good. It's been a good week. Good.
It's been
You heard it, boys. It's been a good week. That's it. We will see you.
We will see you
next week.
time. Yeah.
So we didn't make any picks for last week. Did you kind of?
No. Well, I have
I know you have conversational points. Did you
Yeah,
wanna...
I put conversational points.
I was surprised. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the first conversational point is obviously reaction to last week's card.
Right.
So
like maybe we should have made some picks.
maybe we should.
Towards the end, I was like, "Wow, this is actually
Okay.
a pretty solid fight card." But they were only showing like 2 fights on the card,
I don't.
Right.
and I forgot about the surroundings.
I
too.
will say I don't think any single fight had any title implications. It was a good fight card, but there was 0 title implications. Like the main event, no. Like neither of those two are going to a title if they win that.
No.
Michelle Watterson has now lost 3 of her last 4. She's supposed to be a competent striker, but she has like a 10% knockout rate or lower. It's like I don't know.
I got like a 94%.
Yeah, so
So
she claims she's like one of the best strikers of all women in MMA. I'm like, but you've
Michelle Watterson does.
Yeah, well, she's called the she's karate taekwondo.
I was like, yeah, she did kind of get
pieced up
by Rose though.
I don't know. When I was in Kansas City watching Devin Clark fight, I remember or maybe it was Minneapolis. It was one of the two. I remember Watterson fought Thug, and she got beat up pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think this fight card. Nobody on this fight card had title.
I can't ever think of one time where I was just like, wow, she really from start to finish dominated that fight.
Yeah.
Like I can't think of one time that I've ever said that about her.
Do you think it was a little bit of a slap in the face that was the main event and not like Cowboy or a couple of the other people?
Look what happened to Cowboy. Of course it wasn't a slap in the face.
But Cowboy's still like one of the faces.
But he's
he's not the gatekeeper he used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to be the man.
He's not even the gatekeeper of the top 15 anymore.
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, but WEC, he was like one of the top guys. He was the dude for that weight class. But now it's like you go to him now, and I feel like just Father Time has got to him.
Yep.
Well, it sucks too because they were like, "Is this it? Are you going to retire now?" And he was like, "I can't go out like that."
No, he has to retire on another fight.
Apparently, Dana said today that he asked him for one more fight, but not at 170, at 155.
Wow.
And
he's going to end his career at 155.
That's what he wants.
I'll be heavy.
And Dana White said yes, and I'm like, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't want to go out like that either, man. That sucked.
Yeah, it did.
This sounds really rude, but they should put him up they should put him up against a tin can so he could just get a win. And I seriously.
You know what?
Diego?
How about this?
Yeah, put him against Diego Sanchez. Well, they should.
Stay at
Guy
one.
hangs upside down and gets hit like a punching bag.
Oh, speaking of Diego, have you guys heard all the crazy stuff going on?
Did you see the
Yeah, we
video?
talked about it last week.
There's a video of him hanging upside down from the ceiling while his coach is just punching him like a punching bag.
Oh, and the guy's sitting there like, Dana White and the UFC, they're going to come after me. Like,
Yeah.
what are you thinking? Like,
Dana White sent assassins after me, and he goes, "Yeah, I did." And he goes, "Who?" And he goes, "D." He goes, "Who?" D's nuts. And I was like, Dana White.
Dana White.
No, honestly, keep him at 170 and have him fight CM Punk for his retirement fight.
No, seriously. I'm not even joking.
We can let Cowboy go out with a bang.
I'm not even joking. Let him go out with a bang against a tin can.
Yeah, let him. I want CM Punk. Let's do it.
You know-
Yeah, y'all say that until like CM Punk gets a freak win over Donald Cerrone, and then he has to end his career like that.
15 seconds. 15 seconds in, CM Punk rolls for an Imanari roll and gets him. Bro,
If
I
CM
just
Punk,
got my brown belt. That's my signature move.
if CM
that's
Punk,
so good.
if CM Punk knows how to do an Imanari roll, I will. I don't know.
he apparently was a solid like purple or brown belt when he started, wasn't he? From 10,
was
he
a
had
solid make. I would say you can't say your definition of purple is solid blue, or even brown is completely different though.
yeah.
Like if you're saying he's a solid purple, are you saying he's a solid competition purple or knowledge wise? Because you could be both. You can completely
competition
be both.
obviously. You gotta
But
be
I mean,
either.
like if you're talking pure jiu-jitsu, where you're talking MMA,
Yeah.
because a lot of these guys
Wasn't
don't
he-
transition as
wasn't
well.
he under Eddie Bravo though? I thought he was a 10th Planet guy.
CM Punk? I can't remember who
I don't remember, but
was.
if he's a 10th Planet guy, then I would say that's a purple belt in 10th Planet is really good. 'cause
Oh, yeah.
That
That's legit,
directly
yeah.
translates to MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's how they
then
set up
again,
their system.
like, yes and no. Because I look at Tony Ferguson and I'm like, his jiu-jitsu with 10th Planet was like, they said it was black belt, but it never transitioned. But yet he
His
fought
top game
tough
did.
guys.
His bottom game did.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you compare like him and Dustin Poirier, right?
Mhm.
So you look at the Dustin Poirier fight with Khabib,
Mhm.
and you look at Tony Ferguson's fight with Khabib. Who stood a better chance on the ground?
Between Tony Ferguson and.
We'll never know.
Oh yeah, because they didn't fight.
Yeah, we'll never know.
Yeah.
But I
We'll
mean,
never
as far as ground game goes, who was it? Ferguson that fought GSP,
No, Ferguson didn't fight GSP.
or who did he fight that put him on his back a lot?
Well,
I'm trying to
well,
remember.
Charles Oliveira, I think, didn't he?
No.
Who put
there's-
Ferguson on his back a lot?
Yeah,
I just watched a highlight from that too.
who was it?
Was it Michael Johnson? Michael Johnson was his last loss before his insane win streak.
Which is crazy because Michael
Yeah.
Johnson.
I just remember him bleeding a lot and throwing a lot of elbows from his back.
Yeah. When I heard that Michael Johnson was his last loss, then he went on like a 10-fight win streak. I was like, really? 'Cause I love Michael Johnson, but
I do too. He's more of an explosive athlete. He's not as much technical, I would say. Like he's a wrestler type guy,
Yeah.
and he has explosive striking, like
Yeah.
bombs for hands.
yeah. What's it? Oh, I was gonna pull up.
Speaking of ground game, excellent ground fighter. You guys ready for this? Canelo Alvarez.
That was my next. You jumped my top. You already jumped my talking point. That was my next.
I
one.
knew it was on there because I looked a little bit.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know if you guys watched the fight. So the judges all
I watched the whole fight. Yeah.
all the judges for some reason said that he was 2 rounds ahead of this dude. I had it scored different. I had that dude basically winning rounds 3, 4, and 5.
I had it even. For,
Well, yeah. So Canelo basically was round 1, round 2, and then 6, 7.
But that other guy gassed himself out. That's probably why he won.
I think he gasped out. I thought he was winning up until one shot broke his face.
Canelo was never tired that entire fight. Even when the fight ended, he wasn't even like
That's
breathing
true.
heavy. Like Canelo had, I don't know. I say we put Canelo in the GOAT conversation.
Like,
Yeah.
it just fighting right now is just not what it used to be. In all honesty,
Yeah.
Like you got celebrities fighting that haven't even worked their way up, and then you got like fighters who actually work their way up. Like Bryce Mitchell. I don't know if you guys.
Oh,
seen
Bryce
his-
We
Bryce
love Thug Nasty in this house.
We love Thug
Yeah.
Nasty.
We hate that he stole my name, but we love Thug Nasty in this house.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at his ground game, like how it's transitioned in MMA, is like wow.
Well,
You
the
know,
way he dominated Charles Rosa on the ground, I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
And he has two twisters.
They were
Yep.
like black belt versus black belt, bragging rights, and like the announcer said something about that, and I was like, okay, this might be like a cool ground matchup. No, it was like 75 takedowns and
Yeah.
complete domination. It was ridiculous.
yeah, I mean, you see guys like that, but then you see like some of these guys that like CM Punk or more of like not so much. Brock Lesnar worked his butt off, so I'm not gonna say Brock Lesnar, but Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Some of these guys.
Brock Lesnar's the exception because he was such a good collegiate wrestler.
Oh, he was
like
phenomenal.
his record was 205-5. It was just insane.
Well, the crazy part is Tanner and I. We trained a little bit with this coach that actually taught him how to wrestle. His name's David Shealy. His
From
dad,
Webster or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, those guys, they work so hard.
Yeah.
You'd be like, you see Logan Storley, and you're
They're
like,
also
Yeah.
really mean.
wow.
Logan.
Oh yeah, very mean.
They're very,
Did
very mean.
anybody see? I know Tanner did. Have you guys seen Dave Shealy's dad? He 54, hopping the cage out in Webster, South Dakota.
I did not see
No,
that.
sir.
Oh
Ridiculous.
gosh, this old man took this kid down, and I kind of looked at the kid. I'm like, "This is gonna be really bad, like really bad." But you know, like 54-year-old man, you're like, "This guy ain't gonna do crap," and he picks the guy up and slams him, just ridiculously, and knocks him out. I'm like,
Do you remember in Aberdeen when
wow.
they tried to have me fight that like 60-year-old bodybuilder dude, and he was like, I got a karate black belt, and I was like, so you're a bodybuilder with a karate black belt? I was like, I'll take it.
I'll take
I'll take it.
Now-
they didn't medically clear him, and I'm just like, oh, bro.
I'm more confident that I'm
He
gonna
was,
win after
he
you
was
said-
huge, like he was a legit like bodybuilder, and I was just looking at him like sizing up. I'm like, all right, you're fucking old though. Like I'll put some work in on you, dude.
I feel like what
what were you gonna say, Kyle?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Tanner wasn't with me, but I had to fight in Winter, South Dakota once.
Gross.
And I don't know if
I've
you've
been
ever
there.
been to Winter.
Oh, I have
But
more than once.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough. I'm not saying I hate it, but I mean,
It's right by Mission.
It is. It is. I fought a guy from there, and he was a local, and I beat him with a rear naked choke. And I remember Martin was in my corner at the time, and like afterwards, I was talking to one of my buddies from Platte, which is right over the river. It's about 45 minutes, and right away I had a drink, and he goes, "Yep, we gotta get heading." I'm like, "Why?" Because this is a rough area in the world right now. Let's get out of here. So that was the roughest place I think I ever fought. It was Winter.
I've been there a couple times. I was actually there on missions trips. We were for the
Oh, okay.
in Mission.
I didn't fight in Pine Ridge, but when we were Seth the man.
Yeah.
We were it was me, Seth, and Shafi, and we were all 17, and that was when I went to Casper, Wyoming for my first fight. On the way back, we went through Pine Ridge, and we stopped at the Taco John's, and we were the most terrified 17-year-olds in the world, because there's like homeless dudes walking around our car while we're in the drive-thru, and there's like dogs running around everywhere, and I was like, Seth, like, we gotta go. I just got my ass whooped in Wyoming. I want to go home. Like, this is not fun.
I've also been to Pine Ridge. I probably fought the closest to Pine Ridge, which was Rapid City.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Canelo? What even point were we on? I don't even.
We
know.
were talking about Canelo. You were talking
Canelo,
about his
yeah.
game.
Yeah.
I thought he fought a pretty smooth fight, but I thought he got outboxed for a while there, because as soon as dude started putting his hands down and staying away from him,
Yeah.
Canelo kept trying to walk forward. Every time he'd walk forward, he'd eat like 3
But
jabs.
Billy Joe Sanders is a legit champ. Like
Yeah,
a
he was
legit.
33-0 at the time.
Yeah. But it's nothing like I said, when Alvarez won that fight by stoppage, I mean the corner basically threw in the towel.
Yeah. Well, it was his coach.
Yeah, it was his coach.
It was one of those things where the coach was like, "Are you okay? Can you see?" And he just didn't say anything to his coach. And his coach was like, "Right, if you're not going to answer me, I'm done." Like,
The fact that Alves that entire fight was not breathing heavy, was not like tired.
Canelo never gets tired.
Yeah.
like
We
Kevin
have to
Gates.
put him in the GOAT conversation, like above Mayweather.
I don't know. He's been in the GO conversation.
Here's the thing, though. With some of these guys, you know, I love sports. Don't get me wrong. I love MMA. I love boxing. Okay. At some point, Father Time's going to take over.
Yeah.
But do you know, these guys, some of the guys are like, they're the GOATs, whatever, and I'm not down that at all.
Yeah.
My question is, you know, when you look at their career, is there any question that you can point to that is like, oh, yeah, he was on steroids, or he got questioned for steroids? You know, because everybody says that John Jones is the GOAT.
Yeah. Well, and there's
but-
also too. There's levels where you're like, okay, when did he leave his prime? Because you got to look at like, somebody's like, oh, I retired undefeated. Well, cool, you retired in your prime. This dude, like Roy Jones, at one point he was like 67-2,
Right.
and then now he's like 69-13. And it's like,
Yeah.
probably should have stopped.
You're right.
You know,
right.
it doesn't take you out of the GO conversation, but you should have just known
Yeah.
when to
Well,
stop.
well, that's what
It makes you look bad.
Fedor's doing to himself. He's losing all the time now.
Fedor needs to stop.
Fedor needs to. He's hurting his legacy.
Fedor needed to stop after the 2010 Strikeforce Grand Prix.
He was the man.
When he got beat by Cormier and Verdun.
At one point, yeah,
He was scary. Like you go with him, and you're like, he knows pretty good sambo. He's a
He's a tiny heavyweight. Why is it that those small heavyweights seem to like Stipe did really well?
Well,
Fedor?
here's the thing with Fedor. Fedor is an exception because Fedor would do feints.
Yeah.
Fedor would, you know, you think he's coming with a hook, he'd throw right. but he'd be so good at feints that everybody would fall for it.
Also popularized holding your hands like this so that when you threw hooks, your wrist was already bent like this.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I watched a video of him talking about why he did that, and I was like, I always thought he was a dork for holding his hands like this. It works out. look at this dork, and then he would knock somebody out.
Maybe a little of both, who knows?
A little both. I'm fine with that.
Yeah. But, I don't know.
We did that, and then Canelo, I don't know what your next one
Well, yeah,
is.
the next one is...
I think we're into questions now.
Are we? Oh, yeah, because my next one was this Cowboy Giant fighting, which we've already talked about.
We talked about that, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I want to see him do one more. It would suck if he didn't. I'd like to see him get one more highlight reel.
Also, Neil Magny got another win, so now he still has the record for most wins in welterweight. It was a weird one.
That's the most pain I've ever heard from him.
That's so much pain.
He got the W.
It wasn't
but
great. It wasn't great.
It wasn't pretty. Like, I thought that, like, one round they had it was 30-27, I think the last round. I was sitting there like, I don't think it was a 30-27. Like, he wasn't ragdolled the whole round.
Well, you have no idea how frustrated me and Kyle have been with judging lately. There was a fight we watched 3 weeks ago, maybe. I don't remember what fight it was. It was like an undercard fight. All right. One judge scores it 29-28, this person. One scores it 30-27, this person. The other scores it 29-28, this person. How do you got these guys doing 29-28 and one person has all the rounds for the other person?
Who
blows my mind?
Who was the draw a couple weeks ago where you were
Ion
like,
Cutelaba.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the guy Demo was supposed to fight too.
Yep.
And he got
It
COVID.
was a split draw.
But you watch that fight and you're like, you think Ion won it. In
Yeah.
all honesty, I thought Ion won it.
I thought he did too.
But the other guy, just being a striker coming in, like taking it on short notice,
I thought
he
he got a 10-8 in the first round, and I thought that pretty much
So did
sealed
I.
it for
But
him.
didn't he? Was there a point deducted or something? That
I didn't see a point deducted. I just thought the dude came back. I think the second round could have went either way, and the third round, the other dude definitely
Oh,
won.
by the way, if you want to get mad, this just happened Saturday. Look at that. Majority draw. Just look at the points. One judge scored it 25-30. The other one scored it a draw. And then the other one went for the other person.
Hold on. No, this is the worst majority
This is
draw
the
I've ever
worst.
seen.
This is the worst.
Here's the scoring. 28-28, 29-26, 30-25.
These are real judges in the
What?
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 It was a
What? 30-25. 2 10-8 rounds, and one judge had it even. 28-28.
Well, you know,
Bruh.
in all fairness, though, when you're starting MMA, when you're doing grappling, when you're doing any of these sports, your coach will always tell you, if you're doing MMA, if he's smart or she, they'll tell you, don't leave it to the judges.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Don't leave it
Absolutely
to the judges, so it's your responsibility to finish it.
The judges were picking their nose half the time. They're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to write something down.
Well,
Like, I hate the rolling. I hate the rolling around stuff.
all these,
I'll wait till they stand back up.
all of the commissions, like in the United States, are MMA commissions, but they're based off of boxing.
Boxing,
commissions. And if a state already has a boxing commission, they just make MMA a branch of it. So that boxing commissioner is automatically the MMA commissioner, who knows nothing about MMA, and they have the same judges. Cus D'Amato, Mike Tyson's trainer, his nephew, whatever, Sal D'Amato's been judging for the UFC for years. I've seen some of the worst scoring out of that dude.
Probably doesn't know what a Kimura is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
so
We need retired MMA fighters to be judges.
in my
Yes.
Rapid City fight, that's what the boxing coach I had told you this. The boxing coach leaned to the wrestling coach, and he was like, "What's going on right now?" They were attempting a Kimura, and I was sitting there, and I heard that, and I'm like, "These are the guys judging the fight. They don't know what's going on right now." I was like, "You all go home. I'm judging this fight now." That's what I wanted to say. That.
And you brought it up before, the one story of the one
Yeah.
girl judge that's asking Joe Rogan what a Kimura is. What is that?
Yeah, that one girl. She
This
apparently
is a
a really-
UFC fight. What are you
Yeah.
asking me what that's for?
Yeah, you should be an expert.
Joe Rogan flipped out live one time because he was like, that judge over there was just looking at his phone. He's not even watching the fight. He's on his phone right now.
Yeah, I
Look at him.
remember that.
Yeah. Dude, it's terrible. And I bet these guys are getting paid way more than any of the other
Oh, they're
pro
getting paid a
show
lot.
judges are
We'll,
getting.
we'll say this, though. Props to the South Dakota Commission. I'm pretty proud of what they put together, so far with the state.
Meh.
They got Lee Loaf as the commissioner.
Well, him and Kilmer.
And Kilmer, but I trust, in all fairness, Lee's decision.
I trust Lee with everything.
Because
Lee's awesome.
I mean, that guy
Kilmer,
is,
more boxing.
Lee Loaf's been training since I think he started with Bruce Hoyer.
He would have been ahead of Bruce.
And the thing is, he's fought. He's 42-2. Dude's seen his stuff. He knows his stuff, and that's somebody I can trust on a commission. But as
Right.
far as the other people goes, I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've ever trained. I don't know if they know a basic armbar difference between an armbar on the back and an armbar on top.
Yeah.
They would just probably call it an armbar, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know what the judging is, but
Yeah.
what was my other?
There should be a test, like a driver's test. But
First question, Mike.
Oh, I was also gonna say really quick.
Yeah,
Phil Haas, who's the most chill. He's the guy we make fun of because every time he wins, he just has the most chill interview. He won again, and also the worst heavyweight fight I've ever seen. They didn't even give. Seriously, I don't know if you guys saw that heavyweight fight this Saturday. They didn't even give the guy an interview. I don't think.
No,
they didn't. Yeah.
Who was it?
Rodrigo de Lima versus Maurice Green.
Maurice Green's out of Jackson Wink.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Because Trayvon was telling me something about him.
Maurice, I've seen him fight a couple times. But this de Lima guy just sat on top of him the entire time, did this once every 2 minutes, and then he got the win.
Nice.
What was the question, Kyle?
We have a list of questions.
We have a list of questions.
For you.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Ready for the interrogation.
Yeah.
But no,
Whenever you're ready.
I was hanging out with one of Trayvon's friends the other day, and he was like, "Hey, I got Patchy Mix's number. Should we FaceTime him?" And I'm like, "We should absolutely FaceTime Patchy Mix. Like, that's one of my favorite Bellator fighters."
Oh, really?
Didn't answer, and then texted him a little bit later. I was like, "I'm busy, cuz." And I was like, "He texted you? He texted you? Tell him I said hi.
Tell him I said
Tell
hi.
him I said hi. I fan him so hard.
Tanner said
Oh,
hi.
Tell him I said hi."
That's the real thing about ever getting somebody on a phone call or something in the podcast. I don't think I can take it seriously.
No.
Be like,
It's like way too excited.
so you guys gonna ask me some questions or something?
You call me like, "Hello, this is the American Gangster Trail son," and Kyle will go, hi. And then we just hang up quick. All right, first question.
He answered.
What was, of all your amateur MMA fights, which one was your favorite?
I would say the fight with Sam Garrett.
Yeah?
Oh, you fought Sam Garrett? Cool.
Yeah. Before the fight, we kind of had some differences, and one of my buddies, Omar, at the time, was like, "Oh, you guys have differences. I'll set it up." Next day in the gym, I'm like, it's set in stone. Okay, buck up, ready to go, you know? But it kind of taught me a lot because of the fact that I really got beat up that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it started out good for me, and everything was all right. And then I realized, oh, I can't go for the back, and slipped off the back and landed head against the cage. Well, at the time, the ref, Chuck Parmalee, Tanner knows, who's not able to ref anymore for undisclosed reasons.
Also, the dude we were talking about in the kitchen with Rave who got front kicked, dropped with that front kick to the liver.
I feel like this podcast
Yeah.
is where you should disclose that.
Well, so with Sam, I got punched and elbowed and guard for, he was on top, I would have to say 30 or 40 seconds. Most refs would call it after 5 hits in guard. They'd be like, okay.
In an amateur
second
fight?
shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he took it like a pro fight. I got punched for 30 seconds and elbowed. And he finally was like, one more second or one more punch and I'm going to call it. And right as he did that, for some reason in my head, things just slowed down and I locked in a triangle.
Ah.
But the fact was, that was, be honest, besides Eric Rom, that was probably my most skilled opponent.
Yeah.
And it taught me, though, the head. Even though you got, a little bit of ground game, don't try and take the back on a wrestler.
Yeah.
Stay on turtle and keep punching. So.
Yeah. Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm just going to get back.
Is that back where they allowed elbow in amateur?
Oh, yeah.
We had this conversation last
There was
week.
no commission
Back when we used to call it the Wild Wild West of the MMA game.
Yep.
But we missed those times. The
Well,
Wild West.
we did not. We were all in that.
No, it was fight for your life.
we had our opponents switch the same day 3 times and then ended up fighting somebody in the crowd or getting drunk before the fights at Tanik's house and fighting drunk.
Yeah. You don't miss that? Come on.
Yeah, come on.
I do. I do. It's cool that they're being safe. I respect our commission. I like the commission guys.
It's fun.
It's just annoying that I can't do that anymore.
It's just
Because
annoying.
I had some really good times.
Let me fight a 300-pound smoker from the crowd. Come on.
Dude, maybe in Sturgis you might
right.
still be able to get away with it. In Sturgis, I mean, they still have
That and on the res. On the res, you can
Yeah.
get away with it.
Oh, yeah, the rest,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, that's federal land. They don't have any.
Yeah, but I mean, like, nowadays, now that I'm older and a little bit wiser, like, a tiny bit, I wouldn't want to risk, like, anybody else's blood coming into contact with me, like, via eye or mouth. Like, you don't know where they get.
Yeah, that happened to me.
There's no blood test. You know?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm thankful that there is blood tests now, because then you can be like, whoa, hey, yeah, this guy that has, like, Hep C. Yeah, I'm not fighting it.
Yeah. Dude.
I mean, I'm still going to fight him. I'm not going to have sex with him afterwards.
Okay, I might have sex with him. But
I'm going to split his forehead open. I'll just make sure I finish it instead of grappling afterwards.
Oh, I just realized we have the same exact question. So you put go-to submission. I put what's your favorite submission.
I put go-to submission.
Okay, I'll erase
that
my
works. Just roll them into
favorite submission. What's your go-to?
Oh, everybody hates me for this.
Nicely done.
North-south choke.
Oh.
You're a north-south guy, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be a triangle guy.
I thought you were going to say triangle. I'm not going to lie.
It was triangle, but now, like, I've just transitioned into...
Wasn't the majority of your finishes in MMA triangles?
Yep. Okay. Yep, it was. But I do like the back and the north-south, I would say, the most.
Okay.
Nobody likes north-south.
No, Marcelo, man. I love watching Marcelo.
You like being north-south because you like putting your balls in people's face and you know it.
Yeah, that reverse triangle just fits in pretty good.
It fits in there pretty good. That's funny.
Ridiculous.
All right, what's next?
Oh, I think this is yours. What is the grappling scene like in comparison to the MMA scene?
Because you've done a big grappling show and you've done
besides the potheads.
I would say, MMA, like, it's hard to compare the two because like right now, you've got John Donner team and like the rest of the world. I would say, besides Lovato is doing things right now. He's still getting beat, but I mean, like, he's doing big things in the industry as far as trying to help other grapplers out and stuff. Now, as far as competition scene, you got guys like Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, Lachlan Giles, who almost beat Gordon Ryan at ADCC, the last ADCC they had. So, but I mean, you look at the MMA scene, that's so much broader of spectrum. You have guys like
pull the mic a little bit closer.
Francis Ngannou. You got guys like Usman. You got who's that guy at 185 right now? Adesanya.
Yeah.
Some of those guys are just freaking ridiculous. The only guy I think that's completely beat MMA, when you talk like, okay, Tom Brady, he's beat football.
Yeah.
I'm an Aaron Rodgers Green Bay fan for life, and I can tell you right now, Tom Brady,
he won the game of football.
He beat football, Or you look at other guys like not Anderson Silva, but like GSP, he beat MMA, straight up.
Yeah.
What
that's why I think about Canelo with boxing. Like, who's left to box anymore for him? Oh.
And that's exactly right. Like, you think of guys like Khabib, though. Who's gonna beat Khabib? No one. I bet you, even 5 years from now, no one will touch Khabib.
What about him versus Usman? What do you think happens there?
If it happens, I would say Khabib.
Really?
I say Khabib too, yeah.
There's a reason that I pick Khabib over everybody. Okay, so I have an analogy.
Picking against Usman.
I have an analogy about this too. So, let's say, Tanner and I start grappling, doing jiu-jitsu at age 1. At age 1. And you keep doing it your whole life and competing, all over, just, all over all these tournaments, winning them, just being the best.
Yeah.
And you win 2 national championships, maybe 3, and then you transition. Are you going to trust a guy like that? Or are you going to trust a guy that's like, oh, I started when I was like 20, and this is what I've learned so far? I'm going to trust a guy that's been doing it since he started walking.
Bear.
Yeah, and he wrestled big.
He had a gym in his home.
Also, yeah, I mean, I guess, and the way you're putting it is, obviously Khabib's been wrestling since he was a baby. Usman didn't start wrestling until high school.
But he's on steroids, probably.
I would say he's on EPO.
I wouldn't be surprised if he popped hot for EPO.
EPO is what everybody's been basically trying to use because it's easier to get away with.
It's easier to...
That's what TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
But I actually love what... Dillashaw had the best popping because, like, everyone's like, oh, I ate, like, kangaroo meat or something. Dillashaw was just like, yeah, you caught me. Which is actually... I respect that.
Oh, man, you get caught with the worst stuff that you... I mean, by that I mean...
The worst was Alistair Overeem. Because his was literally horse steroids, not human steroids, horse steroids.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said something about horse meat too, and we were just
He's
like,
like,
nah.
I ate alligator and horse meat. We're
He's like, the horses that I ate must have been on steroids, and that's why. And we were just like,
Canelo's pulled that same
Are
shit.
you
I was
kidding
like-
me?
I was like, I saw you at the weigh-ins next to Brock Lesnar, making him look tiny, so false.
There's something called the eye test that Chael Sonnen does that it pretty much works every time. He's like, I can not only tell that you're on stuff, I can tell what you're on. I can tell you what you're on.
You can tell Chael was on the second fight. The
Oh,
second fight,
yeah.
Anderson. How does your forehead stick out this much further in like a year?
Hey, Chael probably won't even deny it.
Oh, he didn't. He was like,
Yeah.
shh. Well, how much? How much over limit was that? 3 times? Shit. I felt like it was 5.
I remember that on the podcast. And it was testosterone that they popped him for. And I remember, too, because I was making fun of him during the fight because he took Anderson down. And I was like, that's the most back knee I've ever seen on a grown-ass man. Other than Rory McDonald.
That was bad.
It
yeah.
was bad, dude.
It was really
Like,
bad.
Anderson's throwing, like, kicks at his back from his guard. I'm like, you're going to pop one of those pimples on his back, bro. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Have that gunk all over your foot.
Ugh.
Hey,
It was pretty
yeah,
bad.
it was bad.
What?
What's the next question here? This one, I already put the names I thought down. Who's the best grappler in the world, do you think, right now?
It's kind of hard.
List who you think.
So we listed Gordon Ryan, Bukaki.
I changed it in the docs so we.
I was gonna say-
First time we've ever said Bukaki on the podcast.
I was gonna say Bukaki anyway, whether you changed it or not.
Okay, what's the second and third?
Gordon Ryan. Oh, Mason Rudolph. Maybe Jordan Burroughs, but he's wrestling, so it's a little bit different. And then there's Paul Ray.
Okay, so if we're talking grapplers, right?
Yeah, Jordan Burroughs is like, he's a wrestler.
He's kind of fallen off.
Really?
Yeah, well, I can't say fallen off, but he did lose to Kyle Dake. I think it was
Yeah.
Kyle Dake.
But that wasn't that a while back though when he
That
lost?
just happened.
Oh,
not too long
really?
ago. Yeah,
I
that
was
was
like,
for
wait a
the
minute.
Olympics.
Kyle
That was
Dake-
the-
Kyle
that was the
Dake-
bid.
Didn't he also have neither of his ACLs?
No, that was Spencer Lee.
Spencer Lee. Okay,
Kyle
right.
Dake, you might even be able to put in this list, honestly.
Maybe, but if I were to say the top grapplers right now, I would say Gordon Ryan.
Yeah.
Lovato's competing a lot. Wagner Rocha, he's
Wagner
competing a
Rocha's
lot.
Oh,
on
yeah,
Fight
yeah,
to
yeah.
Win. Mason Fowler.
Did I say Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I said Mason Rudolph. Mason Fowler.
Yeah.
I was wondering because I was like, I've never heard of Mason
Yeah,
Rudolph.
but-
Then I realized that was the quarterback for the Steelers, wasn't it?
I think so. I think because I'm a Steelers fan.
Yeah.
So when
You
I
said Mason Rudolph.
when I typed in Mason, it did, the autocorrect thing on my phone was like, "Did you mean Mason Rudolph?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's who I meant." So I meant Mason Fowler
Yep, and he is. He's coming off 2 big
because he
wins,
beat Paul Craig
No, he beat Craig Jones.
or Craig.
Yeah.
Do you
Throw
see
my
what
boy
I'm
Bukeka
doing?
in here?
What?
You throw my boy Bukeka in here?
No,
Do you see what I'm doing here? I'm just misnaming everybody.
Sorry, who?
it's all good.
I meant Chris.
Well, one of the Kyle L's
Oh.
is getting dismissed.
Well, the
That's right. Not only
Rotula brothers is another one. They're really big on the scene. They beat both of them actually. One beat Ethan Krellston, who's part of the John Donaher squad.
Yeah,
Who's the
Then-
dude from Donner Squad that's he looks like a little nerdy dude with glasses?
Nicky.
Huh?
Nicky Ryan.
the Donaher
Yeah.
Assassins.
Gordon's little brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I have so much love for that kid. Like, I hope he does so well. But I think that the Rotulos and DDS are going to go back and forth for at least the next decade.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, you got Nicky, he's grown into a man. But, I mean, like, I don't know if that was forcefully grown. Like,
Was that all natural?
yeah. Oh,
alligator meat.
Which brings us to our next question though. What kind of steroids are you on, Kyle?
0. 0.
But
0.
we did get somebody who tested positive for grade A beaver tranquilizer.
Damn you, Bernice!
Yeah, I mean, it's so prevalent in the combat sports world, it's unreal.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it's always been like in MMA, I never really thought of it because I know my favorite fighters always getting tested and some of them were getting popped. I never really thought of it as much in MMA. They don't do a whole lot of testing in grappling, do they?
They do which is why my speculations are with Gordon. He says he hates gi. He says this and this about gi, which traditionally a kimono is what you'd wear in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with him is if he places in the top 10 and he places, let's say, number 1 at Gi at Worlds as a black belt, they're going to shoot to test him right away.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that he'll only
No doubt.
compete in no Gi. Always in the first, I think when you place top 3 for black belt, they'll test you. So if you test, they'll take away your world title, the IBJJF world.
Damn.
But I mean, if you go to ADCC, you got people, sheiks, millionaires, people coming to that bet on that, and, make a ton of money. Well, at ADCC, you get paid out for it, which is why people are saying it's more prestigious than Worlds right now. Which is crazy because of the fact that, like, never in my wildest dreams would I ever think that anybody would get paid for a grappling match. Like, when I started, you'd be like, someone got paid for a grappling match? Like,
Wait,
was there
getting paid?
Was there punches? Like,
Was there punches?
like,
It turned into an MMA
Pay
fight.
for your gas up here?
yeah, basically, that's how it's come into it. And then now it's like, you at ADCC, you're winning a nice chunk of change.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next question.
Shoot.
Who has the best grappling in MMA?
Well, he would have said Khabib if he were still around, probably.
If you're still around. Yes.
Oh no, has to be current.
Yep.
That's current.
Yeah.
As of last weekend.
As of now.
I love me some Bryce Mitchell, but he's
really
young.
do like
He's
Bryce
young.
Mitchell.
Still.
Yeah, he's green.
Gary Tonan's pretty high.
Is he in
up
MMA
there.
really?
Yeah, he's fighting overseas.
Okay.
for-
Let me.
I honestly, I'm very surprised you didn't go straight for Shinya Aoki.
No, he's kind of fell off the map.
What?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been the same grappler.
He just
that
won by
was.
submission like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, but you look, there's a few fights
it a
where he
tin
got
can?
knocked out
Was it-
pretty good.
Well, of course he's getting knocked out, Kyle. That's what happens to grapplers. That's what happens to grapplers.
I would say, Jim Miller. He has, I think he's top 5 in submission victories in the UFC.
Isn't he? But he's falling off too, kind of.
He is, but he has so many submission
How about- let me-
victories. It's like,
Let me throw a name at you, Dariush. You know who he is? He's fighting Tony Ferguson next week.
I've heard of him. I
He,
haven't
he's
seen
won.
him.
He's won a ton of BJJ
Can
world
I throw
titles.
Benil in this conversation?
Benil Dariush. He's won BJJ competitions, and I think he's gonna mess up Tony Ferguson next weekend.
I'd be more worried about Charles Oliveira.
Yeah, well, true.
Like, he's a legit black belt. He's had a bunch of wins.
I thought he had the record for most submissions.
He might. I think he is probably number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, my favorite submission of all time, Nate Diaz choking out Conor McGregor.
Hey.
What is it, 10 days notice?
Well,
Now-
we're done here. It's nice having you.
Yeah, we're done.
I'm sorry, but that was the most exciting because I didn't think, I was like, this guy, he's really good. Conor's been doing really well.
Mhm.
And then because I was in Vegas when McGregor, Mendez happened. I was with Devin Clark there, and I had to compete, and he was there training and stuff. But just to see, like, everybody in the crowd, people from Ireland, like, actually there and, like, getting so into it that, like, if you disagreed with them, they wanted to fight.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're good. We're good.
It's like, you ever met an Eagles fan?
Yeah, you guys are really
Yeah, because guess what? I'm a McGregor fan and an Eagles fan. Let's fight.
Anybody with wife beater and a bottle of whiskey out on their front yard, I just go down. They're probably Eagles fans.
Bet.
I bet.
Hurts is the man.
This is the man.
Oh, Jacare Souza in his prime might have been one of the best grapplers in MMA.
Yeah, but then you got like Damian Maya too.
Oh, true.
And then,
I guess we're talking current.
You know, you want to hear a funny story? So I heard a story about Damian Maya once. And I'm not going to say who it's from, but
Give up your source.
it's
We
a
already
pretty
know.
credible source. But
Okay.
there's one time that Damian Maya was in a bar, I guess, and they were promoting his fight like on TV, and the bar was filled.
Yeah.
No one knew who he was. Like, they were coming up to him asking for autographs, and like, to me, that's surprising because if you get a bunch of fight fans in there that know who he is, they're gonna be like, "Hey, what's up?" Like
Damian Maya.
Maya.
Damian Maya could walk into Papadoc's at their next UFC pay-per-view card and not half the people, 3/4 of the people in there wouldn't know who he is.
Oh no!
Everybody that sits at your table would know who he is. The rest of the people
Yeah.
wouldn't have no idea who Damian Maya is.
Oh, there's the gatekeeper. No,
That's a bad man.
That's a bad-
Look at that old half Brazilian looking dude who also looks white. I don't know. Like, he doesn't even look Brazilian.
he looks Portuguese, is what he looks like. That's why he's white. This guy's face. He's like,
They speak Portuguese in Brazil.
yeah, I know, but have you been to Portugal? They're all white. They're all
I've
white.
been to Portugal.
It's like Spain. It's right by Spain. Anyway,
been to Florida. Close enough.
close enough. So next question: favorite MMA fighter in general? Doesn't have to be grappler. Doesn't have to be.
Like of all time?
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to know who your second one is because your first is obviously Conor McGregor.
I think this was this your question?
No,
This was
must have been Tanner's.
Or was this mine?
I put on 4.
Oh no! Wait,
I put down one question, and you know which one it is.
This is how dumb I am. This was my question.
I would have to say it's tough. I had a lot of love for Eric Silva when he first came out, but he really let me down because then he popped for PEDs. I was like, no wonder you gas like every time, like you go 150% and then you gas. But I would say favorite, it'd have to be Khabib, Brian Ortega, or John Jones.
Okay, T-City.
I love me some T-City. I think it's because he had a lot of wins with Triangle.
Now you're talking about John Jones, and you're talking about people who pop for stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
Before he popped,
Dick pills, bro.
Like, no one was questioning him.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden USADA comes in and, dude, you're taking something that was in the Olympics by the Russians back in the 60s. Like,
Right.
You know.
That's what it was, jeez.
Yeah.
That's what they put in Cialis?
That's what they put in Cialis?
I had no idea.
He tried to say it was all, some party favors, but I don't think it was.
Well, we know he does those too.
Well, I actually wish him success in heavyweight.
Yeah.
I hope so. It'll make things interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah. What's the next one?
I got mine next.
Okay.
Okay, you're up.
Dibs. I hyped it up a second ago.
Oh, did you?
All right. So, if you had to fight the Animaniacs,
The who?
moving on.
Moving on.
I'm sorry, I don't know who they are. I apologize, man.
It's an old cartoon.
Oh,
that's
okay.
funny.
I'm disappointed. Mike, go ahead.
If you had to fight a gorilla, a saber-toothed tiger, or a rhino, which would you choose?
Another gorilla gonna knock me out.
I mean, I think either of the three is death.
Is there like options for a weapon since they got such big?
That's
teeth?
what these guys tried to bring up. They were like, "I'm gonna have this."
Like if I found a rock,
If the
Tanner
If the
wants a
problem-
Black Panther suit. I'm like, maybe like a stick.
Black Panther suit.
How about this? They're not allowed. The rhino's not allowed to use his horn. The gorilla's not allowed to use his teeth, and the saber-toothed tiger's not. No sharp.
I don't think
Saber-tooth tiger has no sabers.
I don't think the teeth are what you got to worry about with the
Yeah,
gorilla.
Yeah. So maybe you would do the
Punch.
saber-toothed tiger at that point, because
Yeah, I mean the rhino. That's a big mother.
Yeah.
You ain't dropping that without a weapon.
I was gonna switch my question and
It's
say
gotta be-
in a grappling match.
Without the fact and claws, it's got to be the tiger.
I was gonna say in a grappling match, but then I'm like, wait, this is
Because if it's the gorilla, and you worried, and they take away like the weapons, you also got to worry about getting your cheeks clapped.
That's true.
Yeah, I'd like to take your head and just go
Yeah,
like
true.
a melon.
True.
Like Jackson, Mortal Kombat.
And I
Spoiler.
mean we've seen memes and stuff of it before, but I mean gorillas don't know anything about basic weightlifting. Like they're at base form right now. Like,
Yeah, right.
Imagine if we taught them bodybuilding.
Can't just a base gorilla bench like 700 pounds
Yes.
just without?
Yes, and that's without
working.
supplements, without training.
No,
without
just like a normal gorilla can just start benching 700 pounds.
Which
Yeah,
is
I don't
why
want no gorillas by me.
Tarzan is a superhero, and you can't argue with me.
Tarzan's a superhero.
Okay.
That's why, what's his name? I wouldn't want to ever fight the mountain.
No.
From Game of Thrones.
I would mess him up.
Oh, bro.
Actually, okay. Here's the thing.
I don't care anyways. He would gas out so quick.
So did
and
you
I
see?
could outbox him
Did you
easily.
see his exhibition boxing match?
No.
Did it happen yet?
Yeah. No, it wasn't again. It's his training one. It was an exhibition training one.
Oh.
There's another strongman.
Eddie Hall.
Eddie Hall. Yeah.
He's boxing Eddie Hall. So his exhibition up to that, he fought a real boxer. This guy only weighs like 170 pounds. That guy pieced him up, and the Mountain did win. I would say in the people's eyes by the very end, because he knocked him off his feet once with just a huge punch. But if I'm like, dude, you didn't even really beat a 170 pounder. I think Tanner might be able to beat him, honestly.
I beat him the same way the Viper beat him, except I wouldn't stand over him and talk about him.
Yeah, right.
No, you just like wobble him and then run in with your hands down.
What?
What? I got him! Boom!
It is literally what goes through my head every time.
Oh, straight down, Hall on the right side.
Yep.
Right side. Okay, I'll be right back.
And A, you're correct. B, why do I do that every single time? I've never.
I don't know why.
There's something in my brain that goes click, and for some reason, the first thing I do is,
and
the second thing I do is, And I
We all know it because even Joe's just like, we gotta kick you of that habit because you wobble somebody and you immediately like, oh.
Here's one thing I'll defend Tanner with though. There are some times when you rock somebody and then you're too patient and you don't go in when you should have.
Right.
Because I see that on TV the whole time.
Well, it's about finding that
Yeah.
balance.
Because I see somebody rock somebody and I'm like, if you would
It
have.
was usually I could, before they even like would fall down, I could like the connection, like the way it landed. I'm like, yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. LOL.
Did you have any knockouts or were all your submissions?
They're all submissions.
I figured.
I have 0
If I
knockouts.
if I would have practiced, we'll say this: if my coach at the time would have let me practice heel hooks and leg locks normally, I wouldn't have lost my title fight. We'll put it that way.
Fair.
Dude, he kicked you in the head super hard.
I know. I got dizzy. I was like, shit, I'm going down.
I remember that.
Then
I was
we went
like,
into a heel hook position. I got heel hooked, but I mean, at the time, in all fairness, like if you're not playing with fire all the time, how do you know how to react to fire?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so
And
I mean, now I drill them religiously.
well, there was a time when BJJ gyms just would not deal with leg stuff at all.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't let you do it.
They wouldn't let you
They're so
at all.
dangerous.
They wouldn't let you. Yeah.
what was Omar's dude that he used to always talk about? The guy, Paul Harris.
Yeah, but
Rusumar Paul Harris. Omar always calls him Paul Harris.
yeah, but Gary Tonin really messed him up with
Did he?
heel hooks.
Did
Yeah,
he?
I mean, he let him put him in heel hooks. He's just smiling at him like, "Yep, I'm gonna get out of this every time." Like, it beat him, you know, overall in decision. But
Yeah.
Rosemar just kept trying to put the heel hooks on. And here's the thing with the heel hook: if your opponent thinks like, "Oh, you're doing an ankle lock or something," like I had this happen once where I had the guy really not. It was pretty deep, but I barely turned my hips, like barely, and he didn't know it was a heel hook. So when he went to turn, he turned the wrong way, and all of a sudden I heard pop, 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 and I was like, "Oh, I'm like, what the fudge?"
Yeah.
And I wasn't even trying to.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just an instance of how dangerous
How
they
dangerous
are.
it can be.
And something really dangerous I've noticed just doing jiu-jitsu stuff is it's not really painful. If I'm in a knee bar, I'm not in pain until
you're in.
until you're in pain.
Well, yeah, that's the same with like a bicep cutter or a calf slicer.
Yeah, you're not in pain until it happens.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at a
Fuck
calf
you.
slicer and you're like, "Oh, this is just uncomfortable." Well,
Calf slicing son
when
of a
you
bitch.
when you get it and you close it, like in reality, that knee's gonna blow out
Yeah.
if it gets too deep.
That's why they're dangerous. The submissions where you're in pain while it's happening are less dangerous because tap out, you know.
Yeah,
Story
that's
time.
true.
I was in an armbar and I didn't want to tap, and I thought as a wrestler, because it was like one of my first couple weeks of MMA, I was like, I can roll out of this. I roll, all their weight came down the back of my elbow, and it just went, and now it still makes that noise to this day.
To this day.
And I was gonna roll out of this. All the weight came down the back of my elbow.
Whatever you said, Tony Ferguson.
That's kind of the thing.
Man.
Like that's the
Tony
reason
Ferguson.
I kind of stayed away from arm bars for a while, is because like even as a brown belt, like I want to go fast as I can for them, but in reality, like you don't want to hurt your training partner.
Yeah.
Your training partner, in reality, most training partners they're gonna know when you're doing a spinning arm bar.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, or an arm bar. If they've trained long enough, they'll know.
Yeah.
But
Kyle's out here doing flying arm bars, standing up.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Demetrius Johnson.
I've only done that once, but the crazy thing with it is, some guys, you know, they think that they're there and they're not. You know, like me, I'll admit it. I've been having confidence problems. I'm not a brown belt. I should never have that. But in reality, that's something I should focus on now, rather than 10 years from now be in a match and be like, oh, my confidence isn't there. You know. So now, you know, I have a mental prep with myself, you know, every time I go on the mats or every time I go train, and I thank the mats. Almost.
He watches
You know
those
what?
Diego Sanchez
Here's the-
videos and he does the candles.
What we're gonna do from now on is every time you go out into the mats or anything, I'm just gonna be there right behind you. I'm just gonna yell, "Twist his dick off! Grab his dick and twist!"
A little motivation.
Little motivation.
You
Yeah.
better go out there and do good, or I'm gonna hire assassins to
Assassin.
come after you.
That's what I'm saying. We need to get him Fabio or whatever his name is.
But then again, I feel like
Worst trainer ever.
training has, compared to what it was when I started, or even when Tanner was around, it was hell. It was like now is a lot more coordinated. It's a lot more less of hard sparring, more of
Yeah.
calculated sparring. Like when
Yeah.
we'd spar before, if you walked in the room, you'd probably stay there for like 5 minutes and be like, I don't want to get killed. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Like some people would put on Slayer and, you know, hard ass music, and you sit there and be like, man, we're just gonna go balls to the walls every day here, you know.
Which does take so many years off your career, you know.
Yes and no. If your training partners know what they're doing,
Yeah.
or if they're just jerks, you know, and they
Yeah.
crank everything, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't want to train with you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you'd rather.
That's why
be
a lot of those
safe
shoot box guys from Brazil back in the day, none of them have chins anymore because they all went too hard back in the day.
We talked last week about green lighting somebody, like if there's a gym bully who's cranking everything or beating you up, just like then everyone just goes ham on that guy.
I'm not gonna say names again, but I've heard stories of people training out in LA, like where they went to the gym, right, and they went with, let's say, Gabby Garcia for say.
Yeah.
Well, at the time,
I'd fight her too, by the way.
like someone, you know how big she is. She's a big girl, she's strong.
She's like, how tall is she?
I would say she's at least 6 foot.
She's probably the biggest
gotta be.
female MMA fighter I know of.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted.
But at the time, like one of the guys went really hard on her. She greenlit it for Doom, I think, and it's like next day and like cut that guy in sparring practice. So I mean, like, you don't ever think guys get greenlit. I mean, like, yes, it's an asshole thing to do. It does not happen at my gym, but I've heard of it happening at many other gyms. You know?
Bruce doesn't greenlight anybody anymore. Bruce just lets him. He just tells them to get out. Yeah.
No, I mean, if someone's being a dick rolling, you know, like, they're not welcome. We're there in reality to help each other, not hurt each other.
Yeah.
Because you want longevity.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
You want to last as long as possible.
Right.
And the thing with the sport is, like, there's so many injuries, I think, in MMA, but also in jiu-jitsu, too, that's why guys quit, is they, you know, they have a shoulder tear, and they come back, and they're like, this isn't the same, this isn't as much fun, or they get the blue belt, and they're like, I'm the man of the world, you know, I'm a blue belt. You got like 30, 40 years to go. You know? Like, you're at like point.
You did not just say that because I remember the day you got your blue belt.
Oh God, I don't remember.
I do remember that.
But I mean, like now compared to them, I would say like the older I've gotten, the more humble I've gotten, the more chilled out I've gotten. Mm-hmm. You know, but when you're younger, you're like,
it's the weed.
You think you're the man. You know, you're like, I got my blue belt. This is awesome. I'm the best in the world. No, you're not. But in reality, you think you are. And the thing is, jiu-jitsu helps with the confidence, you know? Yeah. So.
Yeah. My friend who's doing marital counseling, I'm getting married coming up, and I'm doing marriage.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I'm doing marriage counseling, and this guy the guy who's doing marriage counseling, he's like, yeah, he knows I know about MMA. He's like, I was thinking about signing my kid up for karate. Is that a good idea? And I said, dude, jiu-jitsu. I said, jiu-jitsu. But here's the problem. He lives kind of in the middle of nowhere, and the nearest town to him does karate and not jiu-jitsu. And I'm like, dang it.
Then you go to that town and you tell the karate dude, I challenge you to a fight. And if I win, this becomes a jiu-jitsu gym.
This isn't like a dojo store, you know, like the Gracies.
That's how the Cobra Kai TV show is.
And then all that happens is we put a pull down screen on the wall and we watch 10th Planet videos all day with the kids.
You watch some of those old Gracie fight videos and you have these guys just coming in, you know, chest pump, just freaking jacked, and you're like, okay, like. You think in the Gracie's minds, they're like, okay, just another tough guy. Yeah, it's going to go quick. You know, and you watch some of them, you're like, man, he's so calm. Like, he just takes him down like a baby and puts him in side control. Like, oh, okay. Like, you're going to keep punching from here. No. They start slapping him like, you can't do that, man. It's not going to work. Boom. Like, what?
That is the most hilarious when a jiu-jitsu person, like, renders somebody else useless.
Oh, what's it called? Matt Serra's done that a few times. I've seen videos of.
That video of him in the restaurant or something?
Yeah, where he's like,
just stop. It wasn't he slapping
cops are on the way, just stop. Like, he's in full mouth. Like, he's not gonna hit the guy, but he's like, quit fighting, it's gonna hurt more.
And then some idiot off to the side was like, break it up, you two. And Matt Serra's like, what do you mean? I'm not hurting him.
No, I'm subduing him.
I'm just humiliating him. Leave me alone.
It's like, I haven't hurt him at all.
That's the cool thing. Like, jiu-jitsu is a little guy's sport and a big guy's sport, but especially for the little guy, you know, he actually has an option against, you know, a bigger opponent.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Marcelo Garcia, and he was going up against guys that are like 300-400 pounds, and you're like, oh, he just went like that, took the back, and he's a backpack.
Well, that's why I say Hoist Gracie was the first ever heavyweight champ. He really was. I mean, it was an open weight. It was an open weight class.
You think about that, and like, In my eyes,
And he's a tiny dude.
It's if you really want to go far back, you can look at like Hickson. You know, for legend has it, he was like what 400.
That's what Josh was saying last week.
And he only lost to the Machado brothers.
Yeah.
And that was his only losses, and it's like, okay, you beat Jiu-Jitsu like of that era and Valley Tudo, like.
Yeah. Well, I was just saying that Hoist Gracie is a small guy. He was a small guy, and I consider him the first ever heavyweight champ of the UFC.
Yes.
As a tiny guy, which proved that jiu-jitsu worked.
Was it Grace was Sakuraba?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Gracie killer?
The Gracie?
Kazushi Sakuraba?
90-minute match. Like, think of, like, we're sore after a 15-minute match, and it's like, these guys are going 90 minutes. Like, what?
I remember because I think it was Camacho. It was like, dude, we should watch it.
No, because he borrowed it from me.
Probably, because he was like, we should watch this. So we were sitting at the house watching it. And we got like 45 minutes in, and we were like, dude, this has got to be over soon. Wrong.
That's why.
Incorrect. Fucking false, dude.
Incorrect. That's why the Eddie Bravo invitational rules for jiu-jitsu specifically, I think they're so important. Because otherwise, jiu-jitsu matches, wouldn't they just go forever?
Not necessarily. There's a lot of disagreement about that right now.
Oh, you do not like the Eddie Bravo invitational?
I do. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, how these tournaments are run is so many of them are different, per se. Like, let's say you go to EBI and you go for 20 minutes and there's no submission. You know, of course, they're going to say who was more dominating. But then you get, like, EBI where it's a back, I believe it was back, honey hole, spider web, like with the arm bar. And then, yeah, it was honey hole. So you got to pick between where you want to start.
That, something happens in my pants.
Keep saying honey hole like that.
Or like a saddle, I should say.
Yeah.
But, I mean, IBJJF, it's all points. So is ADCC is points. You know, if you get a takedown, I believe, or if you get really close to point.
All I know is from a 2010 jiu-jitsu tournament in Champlin, Minnesota, that slams win in overtime.
I mean, the cool part is, like, I could say I did do one super fight, you know, at Purple Belt, which it's hard to do it again because I don't have the support there. I would have to have at least 20 guys come with me to sell tickets. Because you have to sell tickets. That's part of your gig. That's how they get you in there.
Not only do you not get paid.
No, you get paid gas, but I mean, like, the cool thing was, like, I'd been about 5 years out of competition when I did that, and I was winning the match hands down. That was the sweet part. I couldn't believe, you know. But at the same time, at about 2:30 mark, 2:40 mark, and it was a 6 or 7 minute match, Bruce said, get up, get up, get up, get up. And for some reason, it wasn't clicking in my head, so the guy went for an A-choke, which is like a guillotine variation. Well, I didn't know that at the time, so I thought it was a guillotine, so I went around to the opposite side, you know, on top, because he did it from top and then rolled to his back. Well, when I went on top to go around, it got tighter. So in my head, you know, my adrenaline's pumping, I'm like, what in the fudge? Like, this is not supposed to be happening. You know, so the cool thing is you learn something every time. I would have liked to get the W, but in reality, it taught me probably more in jiu-jitsu by learning from the loss.
Yeah.
There you go.
For sure.
All right.
So we got fight picks and 20 questions.
Right. I'm going to let you get to 20 questions, but your fiance said that you're not that cute.
She has to live with me.
I like it when he doesn't bring his laptop because he can't see the screen now. So
Yeah, I can't see what
Just
anybody's saying.
kidding. She said you're cute.
Thank you.
whatever.
I can't see all the comments now.
All right, let's make picks.
All right, hold on. Let me
You're in
pull
this
them
too,
up.
and if you win, I'll let you know.
All right.
You know what your prize is if you win?
No.
Nothing.
I'm fine
No.
with that.
I'm done with that.
I'm a grown man. We ain't playing for losers.
We flash you sometimes.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Tanner's probably done it probably about 6 or 7
So
times.
I'll send you
Taylor does it.
booty pics on Snapchat. That's what you do.
So are we picking just the main card or the whole
Just the main card.
Just the main card, yeah.
All right, I'm pulling it up on my phone. Do you want to?
Yeah, I know everyone I want to pick, basically.
Yeah, I'm putting it up right now. So.
I already took. These two are going for Chandler. I'm going for Oliveira, unless you guys change your mind. I know you'll probably go for Oliveira with me.
Wait, who said that? Who says I'm going for Chandler?
I don't know.
I don't pick against Oliveira. Are you kidding me?
I want to make you have to be a villain.
That's
All right, we'll
rough.
start from the bottom and come up. So,
I like how Jacare Souza's on the undercard.
I think they'll move it up because Hermanson bout got canceled.
Really?
When is that
They
canceled?
moved it. They moved
And
it.
Shabazian is good, but
I'm not
All
hating
right,
about
Mike,
this.
we'll start with
Okay.
you. What do you think for Shane Burgos versus Edson Barbosa?
I love Edson Barbosa. I actually have to take Burgos.
How?
Shane Burgos?
What?
How?
Oh, sorry, you're right. I'm gonna go ahead and go decision.
Decision? Or
Edson Barbosa has like the best kicks in MMA, but this Burgos guy.
That'll be why I'm taking him in the first round.
Okay.
Shane Brooks, TKO first round?
No, he's taking Barbosa.
Okay.
Barbosa's daddy. I don't care what anybody
Barbosa's daddy, he is.
Yeah, this guy. He lost to Josh Emmett.
Who did?
I
Burgos?
can't even do our initials for me in his pick.
There's too
I'll
many.
just go K for me and Lundy for him.
Gotcha. I was like, there's too many Kyle L's in this room.
I'm actually gonna say the same as Tanner. So
Yeah, I'm going to Barboza. I think Burgos has just beat guys that aren't really on top right now.
How do you have him winning? Decision, knockout, submission, what round?
I have Barboza winning submission second round.
Okay. Ballsy.
I just think Barbosa's like most impressive win was against the Australian. What's his name? The guy who just got knocked out by Chandler.
Hooker?
Yeah, Hooker.
Dude, his best performance was against Terry Edom when he knocked him out with a spinning heel kick.
Shoot.
You
I'm
gotta
really,
think about current wins.
I'm really
Whatever.
torn on this, but then again, like, he got knocked. Barboza got knocked out by Gaethje.
Who's the next
That's
one?
what I'm talking about.
He
who
got
do you think? It's Michael's.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend.
Chukugian,
I,
Oh,
you know I'm
God.
picking.
Vivian Aharua.
You know I'm taking the most boring champ ever, Shukagian, but she wins.
This is the Scottish one, right?
No, that's Calderwood.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go with Chukagian then.
She wins. She's cleared out the
Yeah.
division and then loses.
How are you?
We're both going decision because we're smart.
Decision?
Duh.
Does she have any knockout?
For
or
a second, I
submission?
thought it was the Scottish chick, and I was like, anybody but her. Let's keep her off the TV.
I don't think she has a. I think she has one finish in her whole career.
Yeah,
I'll take Chukagan.
Yeah, Shukagian.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do
Kagan.
the same.
Decision.
Yeah.
You'd be pretty.
If we're all being smart here, guys.
Yeah, we're all being smart. Somebody says round one knockout Shukagian.
This is gonna be.
That comes out with the most devastating.
Yeah, I think she's solid. I mean, sometimes when I look at picks too, I also look at the camp they're with, which is wrong.
Yeah.
But then again, like, she's out of Henzo.
Shukagian has cleared out the
trusting her.
division besides Valentina, and she got knocked out by Andrade.
Okay.
But that's neither here nor there.
Next
but
we
sorry, bud. Look at Andrade, whatever.
Andrade?
Then, yeah, she beat Rose, I'm pretty sure, didn't she?
Yeah, but that was a
Okay.
weird
Fluke.
one. That was
Fluke,
a weird one.
Fluke. Shoot, Rose was winning that until she got dumped on her head.
I love Rose, but that slam was pretty bad.
That's like saying CJ Shadbolt's 1-1 as a pro when technically he knocked him and the other dude out with a slam. He's 2-0. I don't
That's
care
a
what
drop.
he says.
Next up, we got Matthew Christopher Schnell and Roger Bontorin.
I don't
Did we
think
skip?
that's a real
Either of
thing.
them.
Wait, what? Is that really? What?
Yeah, they moved it up to the main card.
I don't know. Either.
Oh, I see. I'm going to have to go
Oh,
with
no.
Schnell
How?
by second round KO. I'm just going to make something up at this point.
I'm gonna go Montorin first round KO.
Oh.
I got balls.
Dude, your balls are so big.
Fucking.
Oh my gosh.
These big Irish balls.
So they didn't move up
You
Jacare
went with what?
Souza?
The other guy, Montorin, first round knockout.
So Jacare is not on the main card. Neither is Shabazian or Hermanson. Come on.
Yeah, but what happened to Jacare? I was like, this is unreal right now. Where the guy sat up in guard and freaking.
Oh, Kevin Holland.
Kevin
yeah,
Holland,
I
baby.
was like,
Kevin
man,
Holland. That's big.
that
Okay.
never happened.
Kevin Holland.
Don't you worry about what Big Mouth does.
I
Yeah.
just can't believe he did that to Jacare.
Who you got in this weird fight of people we don't know?
I take Schnell, sub. Give me a second here.
He's actually looking
This
like.
grappling guy.
Look at
he's
him
going for
looking
all the
stuff up.
We're gonna
He's
say.
picking Barbosa to win by a sub. What a noob.
I don't know, dude. Luis Moika was good, and he beat him with sub.
Smoko was the one that beat Ben.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And broke my heart.
So yeah, I'll go with Chanel. Second or first round submission.
Antonina Shevchenko's not on here.
All right, co-main boys, Tony Ferguson.
You already know because I was talking about Dariush earlier.
So you're going with Dariush
Yep, by second round submission.
I think Ferguson's still punch drunk for the
by
last.
which round
three
submission?
fights.
Yeah,
Second round.
I'm 100% there with you, guys.
Dude, Darius, this guy has won BJJ titles. This guy's like one of the best grapplers.
Dude, he
I'm
knocked
going
out-
Dariush, but I'm going decision because I feel like Ferguson's gonna hang in there and take punishment like he did.
Holy
against
shit.
fucking-
Yeah, I'm gonna go the
Plus, you
exact same way.
can't submit him apparently.
Darush beat freaking Dober.
Yeah, I know.
Sub
Recently, dude.
Dude, I
2019.
I told you if you like grappling, you gotta watch this guy.
Scott Holtz. I love.
Also,
I love
Dober-
Holtzman.
Dober did.
He's
get
such a
beat,
good
too.
dude.
Dober's got beat not that long ago.
Yeah, but he got beat by Magomedov.
Dober
Yeah.
hasn't been beat for a while.
Drew Dober just got beat by
Magomedov.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the
It
Russian.
he wasn't even a real.
It was stupid. He just got ragdolled like Khabib style.
Here's the thing. That wasn't even a real submission. You know, he just gave up.
Yeah.
That choke was not in deep. He's just like, yep, I'm done.
Yeah.
So we'll take Darush, second round KO or TKO.
Oh, really?
KO over here.
For the
grapple
jiu-jitsu guy.
Main
Dude,
event, boys.
Ferguson still messed up from Gaethje.
Dude, Gaethje took years off. The
Years.
He took that man's career.
Yeah, he did.
Like ever since that fight, he has not looked good.
Took his soul.
You
All
know.
right, main event time, boys. I am going. Actually, you can go first because
Oliveira. Ooh, this. I am actually gonna say decision Oliveira. I actually think Michael Chandler's grappling is good enough where he avoids the submission.
Tanner?
I'm going Chandler first round KO.
Wow.
I got the same.
Okay. I'm the only one going
Here's
first.
the deal.
Oliveira.
Right now, there's a camp that you don't mess with in MMA. It's called Sanford MMA.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too, is like I kind of believe in this. So after you look at a guy's wins and he's so highly favored, so that does, I think, in some instances, that does get to some guys' heads.
Really?
You know,
Is Oliveira that favorite this fight?
I mean, not very much, but the fact is, like, Chandler just came to the UFC,
Yeah.
so he's got something to prove.
Yeah, but he was
he's-
such a good
UFC
Bellator
took
champion.
out my boy.
Yeah, that last fight, I thought he killed a man in that
Yeah.
fight.
I killed him.
I'm like, what the heck? I didn't see this in
Hey,
Bellator.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Y'all want to see it?
Wait, didn't the guy he beat, or that beat him, Pitbull, didn't he just lose Friday night too?
Yeah, you did.
Wait, Pitbull lost?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost to Quagley. Quagley was in guard
'Cause there's-
with elbows.
Here's the thing.
Split
There's,
him open.
Yup.
Dude, I
Split him
saw
wide
that,
open.
dude.
It was nasty.
It was
well,
bad.
there's two Pitbulls in Bellator, so we gotta figure out which one we're talking about.
Him and his
Patricio
brother.
and Patricky, isn't it?
They're brothers. I
They're
think.
brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, so the non-champ got beat. Okay, because I was like,
He was I thought he was the champ though.
well,
for
they
a
were
minute for
both
145.
champs. I thought.
At 145 right now, it's the dude that's about to fight McKee.
But it was Pitbull at one time. I remember
Yeah, it
because
could
he
be.
took it from Chandler. He knocked Chandler out at
I think
50
so.
times.
I need to go back and look at the Bellator stuff because
Yeah.
but I
All that
usually
matters in Bellator right now is the light heavyweight Grand Prix.
that is
Nothing else matters.
except the UFC seems to be taking that over too with Rumble and Corey.
I was like, all we need to do is make sure that Rumble gets to the finals against what's his name, the current champ.
Ryan
Bader.
Bader.
No, Bader's the heavyweight.
Oh, Nemkov.
Nemkov. I want to see Rumble
Sorry.
versus Nemkov.
Dude, I don't even think Nemkov. Well, he might make it. Yeah.
Here's a twist. What if Corey Anderson beats him? Like we all bite our words.
Don't you
on
put that
Corey.
negative energy out of the universe, Kyle.
We all put.
M. Night
We're all like,
Shyamalan
oh,
out there Bellator.
bet heavy money on Johnson, and then all of a sudden, fucking Johnson gets
Yeah.
knocked out.
Ooh.
Like
I don't think
it could happen.
I don't think Rumble Johnson wins it just because of ring rust.
No, that last.
Hey, trust me, that dude punched the ring rust out of him last night.
Yeah, he got knocked.
He got
senseless.
dropped and almost finished, and somehow came back and threw. Literally, I thought he was still in defense mode, and then he's like, he backed up, then he took a step forward, and then he was like, okay, I can keep going forward. 1, 2, jeez. 1, 2, and the dude just literally was asleep. I'm sitting here like, oh, Rumble
Okay.
lost. Oh,
If
never
Rumble,
mind, delete that.
if Rumble fights Ryan Bader, I don't know how the bracket's set up. Ryan Bader will probably destroy him because he sucks against wrestlers.
Rumble already beat Bader.
Yeah, I know he did. But I'm saying he sucks against wrestlers. Like, did you see Rumble against Cormier? Both of them. Like, I know. Okay, his face. Anyway, sorry.
Rumble versus.
I feel like Rumble kind of ducked Jones and Cormier. He dipped out when was it Cormier or Jones had the belt because he knew he'd have to
He
fight
fought
us.
Cormier.
He fought Cormier, I think, twice.
No, just once because he got rear naked choke.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think he wants that smoke from John Jones.
No. Do we have all the picks?
Yeah, I think that's it, boys. So we're gonna play
The last thing?
fighter 20 questions. So us three are gonna try and guess what fighter he selected. By
We got 20 questions total to get there.
Yep.
All right.
I didn't.
I
I
got
didn't.
first one. I got first one.
So I wasn't gonna make it super.
Guess gets the first one.
I wasn't gonna make it super like somebody you wouldn't know.
What camp is this person out of?
Oh, it has to be yes or no.
Yeah, it has to be yes or no.
That's why it's different.
Oh.
But hold on.
So you can say two. You can say like, is it Jackson Wink or Rufus Sport? And he has to say yes if it's one of them.
Give me 1 sec. Okay, go ahead.
Does this person train on the West Coast?
Oh, that's a good question.
Okay, ooh,
Because,
I don't know.
Well, the reason is because he. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. I already gave you the gender.
That's one. That's
He,
one out of the
it's
way.
a he.
That was one of my questions.
That's
So
one.
look at me. Look at me.
Kyler, you're so much better at this than me.
That's okay. Well, I have everything prepared as I go in.
Okay.
Kyle's
Did you say what? Did you say West Coast?
Yeah.
No.
So you got to use two questions in one. So be like, does he train on the West Coast or India? And then he has to say yes to it.
Is this person in the UFC?
Yes.
Or Bellator.
Well, now we know he's in the UFC and
Yeah.
not in Bellator.
Yeah, but you could do fair enough. So it's in the UFC. Should we go weight class now?
Is this person light heavyweight or heavyweight?
Oh, you're saying yes.
Is this person heavyweight?
No.
So light
So
heavyweight
it's light
in the
heavyweight in the UFC.
Doesn't train on the West Coast.
He doesn't train on the West Coast.
Has this person ever been champion in the last 3 years?
No.
Are they top 5?
Yes.
Whoa.
You guys are
You
right.
just ended it, bro. Okay. All right. Let's go here.
You guys are at,
Hold
aren't
on.
you at 7?
We're at 7. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're
All right,
at
hold
How
on.
many questions we get?
20. You're at
Oh,
7.
they're
You're at
top-
Oh,
7.
They're top 5. This is gonna be easy.
So at number 1, we've got
Oh no, I got it.
there's Jan, then there's Dominic Reyes, then Thiago Santos.
No, this is a. Do you say light heavyweight or heavyweight?
Light
It's light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight. Oh, that's easy. Is his name Anthony Smith?
Whoa. He doesn't know that. If you guess, it's over.
Yeah, if you guess
Oh,
the
I
name's
know
over.
that.
Yeah.
So
Is
is his nickname Lionheart?
No.
Okay, so that rules out Anthony Smith.
Is this
Alright.
person a Caucasian?
Oh yeah.
I would say no.
No. Okay, so he's probably mixed, like kind of Reyes.
Oh, I know who it is.
Hold on. Who do you think it is?
You're almost halfway done with your questions.
I gotta cheat. Is it a name that we've said so far?
Today?
Just in this game.
In this game? No.
Oh, okay. So it's not Jan or.
That's a cheat. That's cheating.
That wasn't cheap, but it worked. Ha! Sucks for you.
So it's not Jan or Reyes
Reyes.
or.
We're gonna use that in Pokemon, by the way. We're gonna name a ton of Pokemon. We're using that, and you can't say no.
Yeah, thanks.
You
Thanks for the
can't say
cheat, bro.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it works.
We can't use our
I'm
phone
trying to think
either,
of.
right?
Huh?
Can we use our phone?
No.
Oh,
Otherwise, this would be over.
Yeah.
top 5. I'm trying to think here.
Dang,
I
man.
keep thinking of that new guy. The one that knocked out Reyes. But he's white.
He is Caucasian. The weird.
Oh, Petroskas.
Petroskas or whatever, yeah.
We haven't said that name yet.
Well, I say he would.
He's
Would you?
white.
I think he'd be white.
Do you want to waste your question? What is this?
What question are we at?
You're about to ask your 10th.
10th.
Go
Is
ahead.
this person... Oh, go ahead.
Would you consider? Where's he from? Like,
Fuck, he's from somewhere in Europe.
I thought it was Serbia. I don't remember.
Something like that.
Eastern Europe, or Russia.
would you consider East? Like that.
I got it.
What's up?
Does this fighter live in the U.S.?
Yes.
Okay, that doesn't narrow things down a little bit.
I was about to say a lot of fighters.
Ooh.
Oh, we could ask like if he's
Is this fighter Brazilian?
Yes.
I'm starting to think Glover Teixeira.
Yep.
Oh,
Sorry, Glover.
could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
Hey, does this fighter...
You got it.
I'm on target right now. Does this fighter, did he go to the Olympics for boxing?
That's a good question. I actually don't know.
Did Glover?
Let me see.
Also,
You're Mike's like googling. Did Clover do shit?
he trains in Maine, so the East Coast is what it would have been.
Yeah.
So we would, yeah. So
Yes, he did.
Yes!
It's a Glover Teixeira.
Yes.
Ah, boy.
Yes!
Nice,
Yeah,
boys.
dude.
I didn't think you guys would get that.
Oh man! But
I
the
just-
thing is, like the one with the Olympics, like
Yeah.
not a lot of people know that.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
because he's on the Brazilian national team,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, and I had to look up the West Coast one because he owns his own gym. You know,
Mhm.
Oh, I
like
didn't know that.
It's in Maine.
it's in Maine.
Yeah.
Like he owns his own MMA gym.
I've heard he's a very nice person.
Very
Yes.
nice.
Yes, like
Very
like,
humble,
Like 2
like-
minutes.
His MMA gym started as do you know those storage units, like the garage
Yeah.
storage units? He rented out 2 of them, just destroyed the wall, and then that was his
I
gym.
got something for all you guys to watch if you
Uh-huh.
haven't yet.
Yeah.
There's this new series they're coming out with on YouTube that Flu Grappling's releasing these episodes to YouTube. It's called Daisy Fresh. You want to see guys that are like working right now, like get where they want to be.
Mhm.
You watch that. I mean, these guys didn't have a car, they didn't have a job, like they're living off stamps, like just training at the gym 3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
A big name to look out for in that is his name's Andrew Wiltsey.
Okay.
And or the other one is
Also, you high-fived me too hard. My hand stings.
there's another one, the hillbilly. I can't remember his name, but like these guys are straight up raw. Like they're coming into matches like no one's ever heard of them, but their whole team's sponsored by Show Your Roll. Like, and if you didn't know, that's pretty much like the Gucci of jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Is like if you have Show Your Roll, you have to get a gi drop. Let's say there's people that will sit there and wait for these gis and order like all of them in one order. Because of the fact that they'll resell them for double the value. They're like
Right.
Yeah.
the Jordan Retros of gis.
Yeah.
So
Well, I want one now.
they're comfortable.
Yeah.
That
250
wraps
bucks.
things up, boys.
I think so, guys. Kyle, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah,
that
no
was really
problem.
fun.
Thanks for
That was a
having me.
good time.
guys.
Hopefully, you had a good time. Love to have you back.
Next time I'll have my laptop and we'll have the screen.
Yeah, that way we can pull shit up and look at it.
Sorry, you didn't get the full podcast experience this time.
Oh, it's all good. We should do it for a fight night one of these times.
We
Yeah.
thought about doing
Yeah,
Fight
we've
Companion.
been talking about we wouldn't be allowed to like show the fight.
No.
No.
But like we could
Point one of these cameras away from the TV and
at
just
all
kinda
of us to get
live
like
react
reactions
us.
to
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
talk about it.
I have
Yeah,
I have a
that would
lot of friends who would like call in. People would tune in and watch the fights with us.
Too bad you're busy this weekend. You want to do it this weekend?
I would this weekend, but I got my little brother and sister graduation.
Very nice.
So-
Nice.
Very nice.
Fair enough, guys. Well, thanks. If you like the podcast, go to Facebook and search Velocity Entertainment. You can find both versions of the podcast there. You can find it on YouTube and on podcast services all over the place. Remember to give us positive reviews, follow us, hit the bell on YouTube so you get updated when we go live and when new episodes are up. I like your finger guns. They just hit Facebook.
So find us on Pornhub, 4 Dudes, 1 Room.
Oh, God.
room.
Oh, God.
Promise it won't be there.
2 cups or what?
We're
I'm counting cups now.
at least 2 of them.
And a Nuka-Cola.
Nuka-Cola.
I had nothing but pizza rolls the other weekend. We're gonna need at least 2 cups.
No,
Thanks, guys. And until next week, we'll see ya.